in at 135, 136, standing in the same height. Beta Academy in the blue, Capital MMA in the red. Excuse me, flip-flop that. Beta in the red, Capital in the blue. Ooh, starting off quick, just like we talked about, CD.
Nice single leg from Jimmy. Switches to the double, scoops him and finishes it. He has kind of like an overhook, has had Jimmy in an awkward spot. They scrambled out of it, kind of like what we were talking about, before anything could really happen. Benjamin's got a lot of his weight against the cage. Now he's going to look for him to pull from his left side and push out. There you go, excellent. Now he's got Jimmy up against the cage, and he's going to pressure in, but Jimmy has the underhook, so look for him to do something very similar. He jumped for the back, it didn't pan out though, and now he's on his back.
Ahmed in the red corner, Li in the blue corner. Li on top. Throwing rights, just a little different.
Jimmy's trying to stretch him with that deep half guard, and he used it to create a scramble, but Benjamin was able to kind of do a bull rush and guide his legs to the left as he came to the right before Jimmy was able to regain full guard, which is where we are now.
Oh, good left.
With Benjamin postured up, you have to break the posture, just like that, what Jimmy just did right there. You have to pull them in. You can't let them get up on their feet, because that's where they're going to break your guard and create space. Threatening for the armbar. He actually doesn't have it. He needs to get his elbow over more. He's extending well, but the elbow is not extending, it's bending. And elbows obviously are made to bend, and that was how Jimmy was able to get out of it.
And that's a good call, because I looked over at the trainer at that very second. He was, you guys were word for word. His little deja vu. I was hearing you talk and watching his lips say the same exact thing.
Well, you have a lot of movement from the bottom right now from Jimmy. Excellent. Benjamin went to take the pass, but Jimmy was actually able to take his back, which was really an interesting scramble. He doesn't have the hook. He's looking to get over on the other side. And now if he could clear his leg, he could take side control. One thing we're seeing here is they're rushing through positions. They're very eager to punch each other in the face. So anytime they get in a dominant spot, they don't really hold on to it. They just kind of try to get those shots in and take advantage of it. If they get a little bit more patient, they could really control the fight and do more damage.
And I love what Ahmed just did right here. He just kind of spun out. You expected him to spin one way. He spun out the other, really freed his leg and went straight into the half guard.
No, it was excellent. You know, and Benjamin almost had that single and was driving through, but Ahmed was able to kind of posture correctly, use his heavy hips, and then now he's in side control.
10 seconds left in round number one here. Scheduled for three-minute rounds. See if we make it the full 10 seconds here. Victor Manamala right on top of this one. Jimmy Ahmed and Benjamin Li. That'll be the end of round number one. That's going to be a tough one because they flip-flop back and forth a couple of times. I'd hate to be the more restaurants that you want to go to. And if you haven't been to Fire Engine, check out the pizza. It's unbelievable. All right, here we go. Round number two. Both fighters right there on top of the Cagezilla logo. Li in the blue corner. Ahmed in the red corner. He's got blue gloves wrapped in red tape.
Jimmy's taking more of the center of the cage and really kind of establishing the striking advantage right now. You know, if you're Benjamin, you need to throw something to make him ready and make him wary that you could hurt him too. But he's kind of just backing up every time Jimmy comes forward.
Both fighters kind of weighing each other out here. Benjamin Li in his black gloves wrapped with the blue tape, kind of smiling at each other now.
Yeah, Benjamin's a little bit tired. He's got his jaw wide open, but he does have his hands up and his chin tucked. You know,
he's big mouth breather, yeah.
Yeah, he's not really countering properly. He's kind of rushing after the punch, so his timing is there, but he's just not throwing the punch itself.
Right. Snuck a right in right there, but didn't do any damage.
Right. He's got to really kind of let those hands go and give less movement and more action.
A little bit of a wild kick spun Li around. And I expect the little guys I've seen in the past, you know, you get spun around like that, they jump on that real quick.
Yeah, they just cover distance so quickly. One thing we're seeing here is that Jimmy's kind of prodding a little bit. He's kind of letting Benjamin throw these punches and kicks. You know, he's checking a lot of the kicks. Benjamin's pawing some of the punches, which is indicative of him just being a little bit more tired. Didn't pull that jab, though. So, you know, there is still some pop there that that Jimmy needs to be aware of. But he also should really start countering on these opportunities.
Wide open mouth for Benjamin Lee in the black gloves with the blue tape. Like, I mean, really mouth breathing, like that mouth guard's bothering him.
Yeah, you gotta be nervous of any hook that comes over the top. You know, when you're
with your mouth wide open like that.
There's not a lot of shock absorption. Jimmy's doing a great job of walking him back against the cage, though. He constantly has Benjamin backing up, and then when Benjamin goes to kind of like throw and rush, he's out of the way. You know, just like that right there. He kind of got away with the jab, and then the right hand just wasn't there. After that, you need to follow up because he's going to be overcommitted trying to close the distance.
It's tough to call when you have a guy who's being aggressive, pushing and making moves, and Jimmy just kind of standing there.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting thing, right? Because Benjamin's not really doing damage, but he's moving a lot.
Right.
Whereas Jimmy's actually controlling the
being
center
aggressive.
of the cage.
Jimmy lands a little one there.
You know,
but it looks like he's resting.
Right. Exactly. So how do you score? You know, that's really comes down to the subjectivity of the judges.
And we know that 3 rounds isn't that much, and 3 3-minute rounds. You're talking about 9 minutes of fighting here, but you know, maybe saving it, maybe trying to count it as a marathon. And ooh, right at the end, it's got to count. It's got to count.
Yeah, and that's huge because, you know, very relaxed, and they both look ready for this third and final round.
Here we go. They touch gloves right on top of the Cagezilla insignia, and here we go to fight. Ooh, good kick. Jimmy's already thrown 2 punches more than he threw last round.
Good movement by Jimmy to get his back off against the cage when Benjamin really pressured him. One thing that Jimmy's doing is he's throwing kicks without setting them up. He'll throw that rear leg roundhouse, get it blocked, and then Benjamin's kind of doing what we talked about. He's countering that shot. He needs a little bit more volume, and he needs to get out of this right here. See, now Jimmy has both hands scooped and was able to get the heavy takedown.
Great move by Ahmed.
Yeah, he set that up beautifully. He's really putting the pressure on, and this is what you were talking about. Was he saving a lot for the third round to take advantage of Benjamin's overexertion?
He has that tucked in.
He's got it tucked in. He needs to take his top hand and pull it down, but it does look like it's going to be enough. If you're Benjamin, you've got to grab that top hand.
Arch, it's
he
over.
Didn't get it.
Yeah.
Great finish. Great finish from Jimmy Ahmed.
Absolutely great job. I told you those are fun to watch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, referee Victor Matamala has called a stop to the action with 1 minute and 4 seconds into the third round. For your winner, by rear naked choke, out of the red corner, Jimmy Ahmed!
Ahmed away with the win. We'll be closer and closer after every